Are you ready to escape the stresses of the day and enter a world of tranquility and peace? Join Midnight Murmurs on a journey through Lily's tranquil night in the forest, where you'll be transported to a serene pond surrounded by the beauty of nature. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more calming bedtime stories to help you unwind and drift off into a restful sleep. The sun was beginning to set on the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow over the lush forest. The leaves rustled gently in the breeze, and the air was perfumed with the sweet scent of flowers and herbs. In a small village deep within the forest, the pace of life was unhurried and relaxed. The villagers went about their daily lives, tending to their gardens and farms, and enjoying the simple pleasures that the forest provided. One particular day, a young girl named Lily decided to take a walk in the forest. She had always been fascinated by the natural world and loved to explore the many wonders that the forest held. As she wandered along a winding path, she could hear the babbling of a nearby brook and the chirping of birds in the trees. The more she walked, the more she felt the stress and worries of the outside world melt away. As she walked, she came across a clearing in the forest. In the center of the clearing was a small pond, its surface like glass, reflecting the colors of the setting sun. The water was still and calm, and Lily could see the shapes of fish swimming beneath the surface. She felt a sense of peace and serenity wash over her, as though she had found a sanctuary in the heart of the forest. Lily sat down by the edge of the pond, taking in the beauty of the scene before her. She felt the soft grass beneath her and breathed in the sweet scent of the flowers nearby. She watched as the sun sank lower and lower on the horizon, casting a warm, orange glow over the forest. As the night began to fall, Lily felt a sense of calm and tranquility wash over her. It was as though the forest itself was embracing her, holding her in a warm and nurturing embrace. Lily lay down on the soft grass by the pond, gazing up at the stars above. The night sky was clear, and the stars twinkled like diamonds. She closed her eyes and listened to the sound of the crickets chirping in the distance. She felt the gentle breeze blowing through the trees and the comforting presence of the forest around her. And as she drifted off into a deep and restful sleep, Lily knew that she had found something special in the heart of the forest. Something that would stay with her always and bring her peace and tranquility whenever she needed it most. The forest was a place of magic and wonder, full of life and secrets waiting to be discovered. The trees towered high into the sky, their branches stretching out like arms, reaching for the heavens above. The air was perfumed with the scent of flowers and herbs, and the sound of birdsong filled the air. The leaves rustled gently in the breeze, creating a soothing melody that could lull even the most restless of souls to sleep. Deep within the forest lay a small village, hidden away from the hustle and bustle of the outside world. The village was a place of tranquility and peace, where the pace of life was unhurried and relaxed. The villagers went about their daily lives at a leisurely pace, enjoying the simple pleasures that the forest provided. In the morning, the villagers would wake up to the sound of birds chirping and the sun filtering through the leaves of the trees. They would tend to their gardens and farms, working at a pace that was slow and unhurried. The children would play freely in the fields, chasing each other and laughing, while the adults would watch over them with a smile on their face. As the day progressed, the villagers would gather in the village square to share stories and songs. They would marvel at the beauty of the forest and the creatures that lived within it. They would talk about the magic that flowed through the forest and the peace that it brought to their lives. In the evening, the village would come alive with the soft glow of lanterns and the gentle sound of music. The villagers would dance and sing, enjoying the warmth of the fire and the company of their friends and loved ones. They would gaze up at the stars above, marveling at their beauty and wonder. The forest was a place of harmony and balance, where the villagers lived in harmony with nature. They respected the creatures that lived within it and took care to protect it from harm. And in return, the forest provided them with a sense of peace and tranquility that they carried with them throughout their lives. As Lily walked through the forest, she felt the magic and wonder that flowed through it. She felt the warmth of the sun on her face and the coolness of the breeze on her skin. She heard the babbling of a nearby brook and the rustling of leaves in the trees. And she knew that she was home, surrounded by the beauty and calmness of the natural world. Lily set out on her walk through the forest with a light step, her heart full of curiosity and wonder. She had always loved the outdoors, and the forest was one of her favorite places in the world. She wandered along a winding path, taking in the sights and sounds around her. The path was narrow and uneven, with tall grasses and wildflowers brushing against her ankles as she walked. She could hear the sound of a nearby brook, its waters bubbling and babbling over rocks and pebbles. The air was cool and fragrant, carrying the sweet scent of wildflowers and herbs. As she walked deeper into the forest, she noticed the trees growing taller and wider, their branches stretching out towards the sky. The leaves rustled gently in the breeze, creating a soothing melody that filled her ears. Lily felt as though she was in a magical world, a world full of wonder and beauty. As she continued along the path, she saw a family of deer grazing in a nearby meadow. They were graceful and elegant, with soft brown fur and large, gentle eyes. Lily stopped in her tracks, not wanting to startle them. She watched in awe as the deer continued to graze, completely unaware of her presence. Lily smiled to herself, feeling a sense of peace and tranquility wash over her. She continued on her walk, taking in the sights and sounds around her. She heard the chirping of birds in the trees and the rustling of leaves in the wind. She saw a family of rabbits playing in the fields, their soft fur bouncing as they hopped around. As the sun began to set, Lily's walk led her to a clearing in the forest. In the center of the clearing was a small pond, its surface like glass, reflecting the colors of the setting sun. The water was still and calm, and Lily could see the shapes of fish swimming beneath the surface. She sat down by the edge of the pond, taking in the beauty of the scene before her. The colors of the setting sun painted the sky in a breathtaking display of oranges, pinks, and purples. The trees around the pond were bathed in the warm glow of the sun, casting long shadows across the water. Lily felt a sense of calm and tranquility wash over her. She closed her eyes and listened to the sound of the crickets chirping in the distance. She breathed in the scent of the flowers nearby and felt the gentle breeze blowing through the trees. As she sat there, she felt as though the forest was embracing her, holding her in a warm and nurturing embrace. And with that, Lily drifted off into a deep and restful sleep, surrounded by the peace and tranquility of the forest. As Lily lay down on the soft grass by the tranquil pond, she felt the warm embrace of the forest around her. The trees rustled gently, and the leaves whispered in the breeze. She closed her eyes and listened to the sound of the crickets chirping in the distance. She breathed in the scent of the flowers nearby and felt the gentle breeze blowing through the trees. Lily's body felt weightless, as though she was floating on a soft, comforting cloud. She felt a sense of peace wash over her, calming her mind and relaxing her muscles. The more she relaxed, the more she noticed the stillness of the night around her. The pond was perfectly still, its surface like a mirror, reflecting the stars above. She gazed up at the sky, taking in the beauty of the stars twinkling above her. The constellations seemed to come alive, as though they were telling a story just for her. She saw shooting stars streaking across the sky, leaving trails of light behind them. She closed her eyes and made a wish on each star that she saw. As she drifted off into a deep and restful sleep, Lily dreamed of the forest and its many wonders. She dreamed of the birds and the flowers, the trees and the ponds. In her dream, she was a part of the forest, and the forest was a part of her. She felt a deep connection to the natural world, as though it was her true home. She woke up the next morning, feeling renewed and refreshed. She sat up and took in the beauty of the scene before her. The pond was still and calm, and the forest around her was alive with the sounds of birds and animals. She breathed in the fresh air and felt the sun warming her face. Lily knew that she would always carry the tranquility of the forest with her wherever she went. The memory of her peaceful night by the pond would stay with her forever, reminding her of the beauty and calmness of the natural world. She stood up and began her journey back through the forest, feeling grateful for the gift of tranquility that the forest had given her. As Lily woke up the next morning, she felt a sense of rejuvenation that she hadn't experienced in a long time. She sat up and stretched, feeling the warmth of the sun on her face. She realized that the forest had given her a gift, not just a restful sleep, but also a renewed appreciation for the simple pleasures of life. As she made her way back to the village, Lily noticed the beauty in everything around her, from the delicate petals of the flowers to the intricate patterns on the leaves. She smiled as she saw the children playing, their laughter echoing through the fields. She listened to the birds singing and marveled at the way the sun shone through the trees. Lily knew that the forest had given her something special, a reminder of the beauty and tranquility that can be found in the natural world. She knew that she would carry this feeling with her always, a sense of peace and calmness that would help her navigate the challenges of life. As she entered the village, the villagers greeted her warmly, noticing the radiance in her face. Lily shared her experience with them, describing the beauty of the forest, the tranquility of the pond, and the comforting presence of the trees. The villagers listened, nodding in agreement, understanding the power of the natural world to soothe the soul. And so, Lily's tranquil night in the forest had not only given her a restful sleep, but also a renewed appreciation for the simple pleasures of life and the beauty of nature. It had reminded her that even in the midst of a busy and chaotic world, there is always a place of calmness and tranquility to be found, if only we take the time to look for it. Thank you for joining me for this bedtime story, Lily's Tranquil Night in the Forest. I hope that it transported you to a peaceful and tranquil environment and helped you unwind and relax. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, Midnight Murmurs, for more soothing stories and relaxing content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.